Something all of our guests need is a little bit of self-love, and Shanelle Connell is here to just talk about that. She's a YouTuber. Welcome, Shanelle.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here. Excited.
Well, Jeremy's very excited. I might have to remove him from the couch soon.
That's okay.
He said before we started filming, he said, "You look like a Tinder girl." I'm like, Jeremy.
I meant it in the most loving way. Everybody knows that. So.
You know what? Like, Bumble's the new Tinder, though.
Exactly.
If I'm being totally honest.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
It's like the app. You can make friends with it. You can make work friends. You can do the dates.
You shouldn't have told him that.
That's probably what I should have heard.
You're going to be on Bumble next.
I'm going to try something better. That's a good thing.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so right now I'm finishing my psychology degree at the University of British Columbia, Okanagan. A few years ago, I think it's been 2 now, I competed for Miss Universe Canada, and I placed top 20, which was so exciting for me. During that time, I was really heavy into advocating for women and men that have been through toxic and abusive relationships. So I worked closely along Elizabeth Fry. And now I'm just so ready for the next chapter, and I cannot wait to start my business, get really deep into what I want to do, which is advocating a message of self-love, healthy relationships, and intentional living.
Okay, and why is that important to you?
So for me, growing up, I was raised with a lot of love in my family, and I come from a Christian home, and I was told God always created us for love, and that's a sentence and a motto that I've always lived by. And it hit me, and I was like, how many people in this world don't feel worthy of that? How many people go around thinking, I'm not worthy of love, I'm not worthy to even love myself? And so in order to transform their life, you first need to love yourself. I think everybody knows that. Self-love is becoming like a very hot topic on social media lately. Everywhere you go, you hear about it. And for me, I think in order to help others help themselves, we need to cover those basics first before you essentially want to walk before you can run.
Right. With the whole self-love movement, now, when is it too far? Because I know that one thing, like a lot of the self-help and all these self things, the main thing is self.
Yeah.
So how can we encourage people to love themselves, but also to love others as well?
I think when you look at the term self, you need to not think of it as an egotistical term.
Selfish.
Yeah, exactly, selfish. We're not talking, you're looking in the mirror, you're telling yourself every day that you look great. To me, messages saying that you're beautiful no matter what, like no matter your size, body, whatever, that's phenomenal. But at the end of the day, self-love is when you really truly look inside yourself and you face those dirty, deep, nasty problems that you have within who you are, and you learn to accept them and grow from them. And through that, you'll be able to have that light shine out to others.
What was some of the things that you struggled with that you had to have that conversation with yourself?
Yeah, so when I was 17, I moved to Kelowna when I was 16, and I was really bullied. I switched schools 3 times in 1 year, and I developed an eating disorder because I just felt so out of control in my life, and I didn't really realize why. Like, I've never had an issue with food. Like, I've always loved food. Give me a pizza, and I'm like, okay. Eat the whole thing, like add extra toppings, please. I was the girl that was like, Mom, I just want like extra cheese on my pizza all the time.
Just know this is 20s, this is 30s, okay?
Well, you're pregnant, so that's fine. Eating for 2. But when I developed EDNOS, which is eating disorder not otherwise specified, it wasn't necessarily anorexia or bulimia, but it was me over-exercising and then under-eating or binge eating and then working out 4 hours that day and then wanting to go for like a 20-minute swim like 3 other times a day, just really disordered thinking. And when I kind of faced that, I was like, holy crap, I have never been like this my entire life. What was the switch? Like what flipped for me, you know?
Mm-hmm. And what happened? Like what did flip?
When I got bullied, I think I was so used to being confined in my bubble, because I'm from Calgary originally, of being supported. People really like loved me, liked me. I had all this affirmation going on around me all the time. I've had affirmation at home. And it made me realize how surface level that confidence I had was, because I was being told all the time, like, oh, you're an awesome person. And I didn't truly believe that in myself once people started picking apart my personality and character and being like, oh, she's too exuberant. Oh, someone said to me on the first day of school, why are you wearing a skirt? And I was like, well, I feel really attacked for trying to look nice.
Was it a girl?
It was.
What weird.
I know, so shocking.
And being the new girl too, so I was going to say, like, I was a new girl, I think 4 times in high school, and that alone is torture.
Oh yeah.
Because
you're
a target.
Sorry to interject. Aren't girls worse for that kind of stuff? I don't know, I'm a guy, but I hear girls are really awful.
Have you
with
watched
Mean
Real
Girls?
Housewives, Mean Girls,
That's
any other female dominant
And the fact
show?
that you're talking about bullying, was it girls that were bullying you like that?
It was girls, majority. And then when the girls, and especially the popular girls, start bullying you, the popular guys start bullying you, and it's just...
Was Mean Girls like a documentary for you?
Mean Girls is actually my life. Hi, I'm Katie Cameron. Nice to meet you. You know?
Well, it was.
Yeah.
But look at how good you've turned out now. I mean, I hate to say, I mean, you've had all these awful experiences, and now you're doing really well, and you're speaking positive, good role model for the younger girls. Do you have any advice for any of the young girls going through school now that are going through this, where they might be getting picked on, or any thoughts?
Social media.
Because I have a daughter, I'm concerned. You know, I just want to Yeah, what should they do? They're getting picked on in school like you were. What's a good idea for a girl?
Yeah, I think for me, I don't think I would have been able to make it through without having a good support system. Like, I think I probably would have kept being on that downward spiral. I remember my mom took me out one night and it was snowing so hard, and she knew I was on the cusp of depression. She's like, we have to go outside. Like, you're going on a walk with me. It's 7 o'clock at night, it's dark, it's snowing, but like, we need to get your serotonin up. And having someone to consistently talk to and feel like I have a safe space to visit at the end of the day, whether it's a parent, whether it's a friend, an aunt, if you encourage your children or encourage young women to find that, and young men, to find that safe zone where they feel at home, that to me is one of the strongest things you can do in order to keep them out of that bullying circle and that cycle.
Well, and the two, being in the Okanagan, I don't know if you've noticed if you're from Calgary, the cloud cover in the Okanagan. So a lot of times some of that depression, that like you just need a sunny day. The seasonal affective disorder. Because I know my sister and I would be like, oh, life is horrible, I feel horrible. And then the next day the sun would come out. We're like, what were we complaining about?
I know.
It's a beautiful day.
So I'm kind of weird though, I like the gray.
Okay.
Like my mom's, she basically, since the time I was little, she's like, I'm pretty sure I like bared child to a vampire. So
got the curtains closed.
I don't suck blood. I'm not like, I don't sparkle in the sunlight unless my highlight's really popping.
She sparkles in the sunlight sometimes.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Sorry.
It's the blonde hair, the beautifulness. Yeah, so where were we going again with that? I got so
We're ADD, by the way.
Yeah,
so.
I swear, after just hearing the last few interviews, I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have ADHD? Is this my life? Like, I'm a very highly sensitive person as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like buzzing all the time. As soon as I'm around people, I can feed off their energy. I'm like, you're not having a good time. I can tell. You can lie to me until you're blue in the face, but I know something's wrong. Yeah.
So maybe you do have, we'll diagnose you later.
Yeah. That's what the new show will be.
So now, I know in my generation, because I'm 36,
yeah,
I didn't have social media and all those kinds of things. And that's a huge thing with bullying, and that can lead to depression, things like that. Now, your generation, you guys kind of got the brunt of it. But now, you know, Jeremy's daughter, what is she?
She's 9.
She's 9 now.
Cool. Yeah.
So, like you did go in a bit of it, but what kind of tools would you give a 9-year-old version of yourself?
Limits on screen time, 100%. If you go into your settings on the iPhone, you can actually limit your screen time in terms of hours, and it locks everything out, and you have to make the conscious choice. Really teaching your son or daughter to be conscious of what they're consuming on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. YouTube's so much easier because it's a search engine, essentially. It's like a video version of Google. But on Instagram, you're just being constantly fed content that is typically, if I'm being totally honest, narcissistic and does not feed your soul. I went through like an unfollow binge, and I unfollowed hundreds of people. Girls that I was like, you know, I really want to support your careers, like you're doing amazing things in fashion, but watching and looking at your stuff every single day with your perfect life makes me feel like absolute crap about myself. And knowing that's okay. Like if you know it's okay that you're putting boundaries, and this, I don't know how you would technically relay this to a 9-year-old, but giving them those life tools, knowing that they're allowed to set boundaries, knowing that they're allowed to do things for themselves to make themselves feel better, because kids know when something doesn't feel right to them. But encouraging them to have that confidence and give themselves the permission to do that.
Okay, and parents snooping. Now, I mean, now that I'm a parent, I'm just like, yeah, snoop, you know, because I kind of wish that my parents had snooped a little bit more when I was going through stuff, so they would actually know what I was going through. What is your advice for parents?
So my aunt was actually my snooper, because my mom, technology is
not her thing.
Nope, can't do it. Every day I'm like, how do I use the remote, Shanelle? How do I use my phone, Shanelle? She's really cute. She's my best friend.
Skype is this close to the face.
Yeah, that's my grandpa, actually.
Do you see me?
My grandpa's better with his phone.
Really?
He's so cute. In terms of snooping, I personally am very thankful that I had my aunt snoop on me in terms of watching and monitoring what I was doing online, because let's be totally honest, stranger danger is a thing out there. I get messages all the time. I had a stalker last month that just constantly kept going on me on Instagram. He called our business phone, found that number somehow. So it gets really scary, and when your kids are young, they might not understand it now.
The real danger.
But not even the danger of other people too, but the danger of what they're consuming.
Right.
So I don't personally think that it's an issue to snoop, as long as you're doing it in a respectful manner.
Like openly, should you be like, I need to have your passwords to Facebook, or Facebook's not cool, Facebook is for people my age, but like for things like Snapchat and things, I don't even know what's cool, but I'm gonna pretend, but like, is it okay to say, I need your password?
I was never asked for my password. I don't think when I have kids, I'd ever ask for their password, but I think for me, I always had an open line of trust with my parents, and because they trusted me, didn't request things like my password, and I knew they
respected you.
They respected me in my space. I felt comfortable, and I knew my aunt was looking at what I was doing online. I felt comfortable.
Right.
So when I knew that they were looking online and they let me know that, it made me so much more aware of how to consciously act online, because once you put something out there, it is out there forever. And it also helped me feel like my parents aren't out to get me, they're just here to be there for me.
You,
yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
What is your YouTube thing? What's that? I was going to ask you.
So just under my name, Shanelle Connell, if you search that up on YouTube.
Okay.
I basically do videos from all topics that kind of encompass self-love, healthy relationships, intentional living. One of my most popular videos, I've had my YouTube channel for 8 years. I had a video go viral called Beauty, which was an anorexia short film. But one of my newest ones that I did was how to stop anxiety and overwhelm. And so videos like that, these how-to videos in terms of helping amplify your well-being in your life, is where I want to go and what I'm super passionate about, especially with relationships. Because my generation is so screwed with that.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that you seem to have gone through some things, but you're coming out, you know, on top and doing things that are positive for future generations. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
And so people can follow you online at?
Yeah, so my primary platform is Instagram. You can find me at Shanelle.Connell.
Oh.
Shanelle Connell is
it's
taken.
It's almost like Shanelle.com.
Yeah, exactly. You can find me at Shanelle.com, and then on YouTube at Shanelle Connell. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And sharing your story.
Thank you.